All right. Thanks everyone for joining today's session. Today is all about software testing, both manual and automation. But before we go or dive deep inside what the program, the training is all about, um, I would like to tell you about myself, about the company, and then we can make a start. So without further ado, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Akin Oladeji, and I happen to be the founder of Learn with Pride. And what we do at Learn with Pride is we help people that wants to transition from, please, I'm recording already on Nifade, and this recording will be made available on the group chat, also on our WhatsApp channel, uh, on the YouTube, and also on our WhatsApp channel. So don't worry about the recording. It's being recorded and it will be made available for everyone. All right. So yeah, my name is Akin Oladeji. I happen to be the founder of Learn with Pride. And what we do at Learn with Pride is help people that wants to transition from non-IT or non-technical background into the IT space. So we run different IT trainings ranging from project management to business analysis to software testing, data analysis, DevOps engineer, IT support, Scrum Master, and product owner. So we run like 8 different IT courses. And what we specialize is we specialize in practical training, getting your hands dirty, and also you working on a live project. We don't focus on you passing whether ISTQB or any professional certification, because I'm actually talking from experience. My background is in accounting, and I transitioned as well into to become a software automation engineer. And before I transitioned, I thought if I sit for all these professional exams, have all this certification, probably that would give me an edge in the market. But that was just a lie. Having all the certification, I wasn't able to get a job until I acquired hands-on job training before I could have a breakthrough. And from someone coming from non-technical into the technical space, many people would doubt, or many people will argue this with you, that it's not possible. How come? Because my background before now was accounting. All I knew then was debit and credit, balance sheet. That was all I knew. But now, for someone who only know debit and credit, but now, coding in programming language like C sharp, that is unbelievable. But it could happen to anyone. That is why I said, regardless your background, regardless whether you've been working as a customer service for 10 years or you studied geo whatever in school, it doesn't matter. What is required on this process is your determination and your hunger for change as well. That is all. Can we mute our mic, please? Thank you. So it's your hunger and your determination for change that is required on this journey, and every other thing we're going to take care of. So ever since post-COVID, the IT industry has actually been buzzing. It's been buzzing because you now have the opportunity to work remotely. Companies, foreign companies are now recruiting people, from other countries as well. So you might be living in Nigeria, you might live in Ghana, Zimbabwe, anywhere you live. After acquiring the right skills and knowledge, you can actually secure a remote job with a foreign company and getting paid in foreign currency as well. COVID has made this possible, and people are really, 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 really tapping into that space, acquiring the right skills, the right knowledge, so that they can position themselves, to compete with those who has been doing it for many years, so that they can get, their share of the national cake as well. So I'm telling you, you are the right place at the right time. This is actually the very best time to make that transition happen, and we are there to help your journey all the way. the support that will be needed, the mentorship we are going to provide, all this for you. And this particular training is a very in-depth training that will take you from manual testing to performance testing to automation testing. So it is very, 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 very in-depth. By the time you come out of this program, you'll be able to compete, with people who has been doing in the industry for the last 2-3 years. That is how we are going to equip you. And you are not alone on the journey as well. For the company, so that is just a bit about myself. About the company, we've been in existence for 4 years now, 4 years plus, and we've helped many people over the years as well. We are going to see the stats in a bit. So that is that about myself. That is that about the company. I have a few slides to share with you. After that, I'm going to call on the facilitator. If you should enroll, I'll be taking you on the journey together. He has got so many years of experience working as a manual tester, as an automation tester. He's got all-round knowledge when it comes to testing, and he's going to tell you more about himself in a bit. But for now, let's go through my slide quickly. All right. Why software testing? I'm based in the UK, the company based in the UK, so that is why I'm using UK as my reference point. But it doesn't matter where you live, it's still an odd cake anywhere around the world. So using UK as a point of reference, the average salary in the UK is around 45,000. Please, can we mute our mic, please? Please mute your mic. Thanks. So in the UK, the average salary for software testing, you're looking around 45,000. And for a contract role, if you prefer freelancing, just doing contracting, you're looking around 350, 400 pounds a day. If you're getting 350, 400 pounds a day, that is 8,000 pounds per month. And even if the contract is just for 3 months, that is still a lot of money. The average salary in the UK for majority of people is between 18,000 and 35,000. And you completing a 4-month program, you are able to even get 45, 50,000. That is still a lot of money. I'm going to be calling on probably one of my ex-students later on to share his testimony and how much he's actually getting at the moment, just completing a 3-month training. That is the position you can put yourself. Another reason why people are considering software automation or software testing is in the UK, we've got a shortage of skilled worker in the UK. That is why you see just one person doing 3 jobs in the UK when it comes to this field, because there are no enough experience, especially in the automation space. There are no enough people to take on the job. That is why you see people, just one person doing 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Why? Because nobody's to compete for that job. And that is why, I said the market is really buzzing now for people like you to come in, and compete for those roles as well. So you can get from your home country, you can get a sponsorship visa. Even aside the fact that you can get a remote job, you can as well get a sponsorship visa, whether you did well at the interview, they really like you, they can sponsor your visa from your home country. That is another advantage that you can get after acquiring the right skills and knowledge. Also, as I said, since post-COVID, companies now realize that you don't need to physically come into work. You can actually deliver at anywhere, provided you've got good internet connection, good Wi-Fi, and a laptop, So that is why these remote jobs these days has become so much out there. If you go to website like Upwork, JobServe, you see many remote jobs out there. And there's no restriction to who can apply for it. As long as you have the knowledge, as long as you have what it takes to compete, to do the job, to hit the ground running, you are going to be recruited. And it's in high demand. Imagine yourself, equipping yourself with, the manual testing experience, the automation testing experience, the performance testing experience. That is a lot. Not many testers out there can do performance. Not many testers out there can do automation, so you are giving yourself an edge, when you enroll on this journey with us. And you, as I said, you have all the support that you can ever ask for. So if you should come on this journey, what will be the what will be the roadmap? So let's go through that. So there will be a practical training for 4 months. That is why I said it's going to be a very intense training. It is fully loaded. It is fully packed. Many trainings that you see out there, especially when it comes to probably manual testing, you'll be seeing probably 4 weeks, 5 weeks. They are just scratching the surface. But we want to take you beyond scratching the surface, make you understand what it really entails to become a software tester, not just give you A, B, C, D and, tell you to figure out E, F, G, H, no. We teach you from the very beginning to the level that you are comfortable with to start applying for jobs out there. So after the training comes, you'll also remember the training is actually a practical training. You are not being trained to go and pass ISTQB. No, the training is not designed for that. The training is designed that if you should secure a software testing tomorrow, how are you going to survive on the job? That is what we focus on. So it's going to be practical, it's going to be hands-on, and you need to be ready for the journey. You need to be ready to embark on this journey. After the training, you also be opportuned to work on a live project. When I say live project, I'm not talking about a capstone project. I'm talking about a real project whereby you'll be working with the likes of, as I said, the recording will be shared on the WhatsApp group and also on our YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel, just search for Learn with Pride. The recording will be made available before end of today. All right. So when I say live project, you'll be working on a live project, not a capstone project, where you'll be working with the likes of, a full Scrum team, with the likes of the developer, a Scrum Master, product owner, business analyst, and yourself as a tester to deliver a solution for a client. So this is just to, all the things you've learned during the practical training, just to enhance your knowledge further. So by the time you start applying for jobs, you are not lying on your CV. You are not lying to the recruiters, or you haven't gone on internet to go and read about something. You've actually done it. You've practicalized it. That is what we want, so that at the end of the interview, they can see a value in you and you can be recruited. That is all what we are all about. So moving on, after the project, this is very important. Very, 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 very important. If not, the training that you've received and the project will be kind of wasted. So you have to optimize your brand. I cannot overemphasize this point. Your brand needs to be emphasized, needs to be optimized. What am I referring to when I say your brand? I'm referring to your CV. I'm referring to your LinkedIn page. You want to start applying for international jobs. That means you have to revamp your CV to international standard for you to be able to compete with people out there. So if you are not visible in the market, despite the fact that you've received a 4-month training, you've worked on a project, you know what you do, you know what to do as a software tester, but you are not getting calls. Nobody's calling you. Recruiters are not reaching out to you. Why are they not reaching out to you? It is because they cannot see you. You are not visible in the market. And if you're not visible in the market, you cannot secure a job. That is why your LinkedIn needs to be optimized, because LinkedIn has now become a popular marketplace, professional marketplace that, recruiters go to add on, to look for the right candidate, to interview. So you have to be in all those spaces. On LinkedIn, you have to be there. Your CV has to be top notch, because these are the things that will speak for you first. These are the things that will open the doors, the gate for you before they actually call you to interview you, to know the level of skills that you possess. So meaning we need to get this bit right. Very, very right. So this is an important stage. As I said, we don't really do CV ourselves, but we partner with one of the best in the market, our industry as well, that can help you with revamping your CV and with optimization of your brand. Coming from us, definitely they're going to give you a discount. But when we get to that spot, or when we get to that stage, or when we get to that bridge, we are going to cross it. But just to let you know that this particular stage, it is very, very, very important. All right. So when that stage is done, you are visible in the market. Recruiters will start reaching out to you, even without you applying for that role, because they can see you online, because you've made your profile public. They can search and they can see the skills you've got, and they will call you because your number is there. You start receiving calls aside the ones that you apply for manually. They'll start receiving calls. Are you available? Where have you worked? We can see on your CV you've worked on JMeter, you've worked on automation. Can you tell us a bit more about what you've worked on? Things like that will start happening, and they will shortlist you to go for interview. And that is another stage that we assist with, because the end result, the end game of this process is for you to be able to secure a job, either as a manual tester or an automation tester, or even a performance tester. And it will be our joy, so that when you go into that interview, you are going in with confidence. You are going in with, you know what, I know what I'm talking about. I've been equipped with the necessary skills and knowledge, and I can defend it as well. Why on this point, let me quickly make mention, what are you going to get when you enroll on the package, when you enroll on the course? What does the package looks like? So you get the practical training, which I just said it will take 4 months, which will run twice a week for 4 months. You get to work on a live project, you get the mentorship, you get the support. Also, all our courses are CPD accredited, meaning they meet the professional standard, and the certificate that you're going to get at the end of the training is recognized in over 60 countries. Let me quickly share. So this is the body. I can put it, and this is our number. Our provider number. I'll put this link on the chat. You can read more about this body, and just to see the advantages that is attached to the certificate that you'll be getting at the end of the day. Let me send it to the group. I'll send it to the group now. So yeah, I just send it to the group. You can see at your own convenient time, you can research into that company to see, the benefits, the advantages attached, to having that certificate. And as I said, the certificate is recognized in over 60 countries, Nigeria, Zimbabwe, UK, Australia, Canada, US, in over 60 countries, the certificate that you'll be getting is recognized there. All right, so let's go on. So CPD accredited certificate, you get that as well. And finally, you get a work reference for the duration that you are with us, because you'll be working on a project. So surely we are going to give you a reference that you can put on your CV, and you can say that, yes, I've worked with these people, and I can back that up as well, because you actually work with us. It is not like I'm lying or you are lying. Those are the benefits that is attached, you enrolling on this journey. All right, so quickly, let's just go through the company start. Since 2020, this is just a start. Since 2020, how many students we've managed to enroll since 2020? You can see 2020, 2021, 2022. and the 2023. So COVID-19, you can see the enrollment during that period. It was because people were at home, they're looking for, to upskill themselves, nothing to do. And that was why we have many enrollments in that year. Going to the courses that we offer. You can see the numbers. So this is from January till date now. This is the start from January 2023 till date. So you can see software testing. So previously, we run solely automation testing, although a bit of manual testing will be covered, but we are more of automation. So this will be the first full-fledged manual / performance / automation that you'll be getting. But from January 2023 till date, you can see software automation, we've had like 250 enrollment. For manual testing, we've had like 200 enrollment till date. And you can see other courses we offer as well. Scrum Master, we've had over 1,000 enrollment till date as well. So generally, from the onset till date, how many of our students, the percentage of our students that are actively working now in the public sector is like 50%. In the private sector, we have 35%. And those who are really job ready, they are still hunting for job. They know what they are doing. They are just waiting for that door to be open. We have 15% of them out there. So that's just to show you the level of, our commitment to our students. And also you can Google us, you can go on Trustpilot, to see our reviews from our previous student. You can visit our Instagram page to see testimonies. We manage to, I think every Thursday we post testimonies on our Instagram page, or on all social media. I think Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Every Thursday we do that. So you can visit our Instagram page or any of our social media at Learn with Pride. You see the result there as well. So quickly, before I hand over to Samuel, who is the facilitator that will take you on the journey. Quickly, these are just a sample jobs that I went online to get. The first one is paying up to 60,000 per month. And the second one is a contract role paying up to 380 pounds, let's just say 400 pounds per day. That is like 8,000 pounds per month. And you can see under the must have skills, under the requirements, must have Cypress experience. And you'll be taking, so the automation, the tool that we're using for the automation is actually Cypress, and by the time you finish, you can be rest assured that you can go for a manual role, you can go for an automation role, you can go for a performance role, because you'll be exposed to all these things. All right. So if you should come on this journey, the cost for the 4 months period duration is actually 800 pounds. But for those that will be enrolling, and I haven't said it, this course will be starting on the 19th of this month. That is when this course will be starting. So for those that want to take advantage of the 50% discount, and 50% discount is only applicable for those that are paying everything at once. So you can take advantage of the 50% discount. We have the enrollment window is open for the 50% discount till 10th of this month. So you can take advantage of that. We only have 10 slots actually left for this cohort. We are only taking 10, we only have 10, there are 10 slots left. So if you are paying everything at once, you get 50% discount on the actual cost. But if you want to split the payment, you can still get 25% discount. If you want to, you can split the payment to 2. Half payment is required to start, and you can pay the other half after 5 to 6 weeks that you've started. On that, you can still get 25% on that. So if at the end of this session you have anything you want to ask me, or you want to enroll for this course, you can message me on this WhatsApp number. If you have any questions at all, any queries, anything you want to clarify, you can reach me directly on that number, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. So you can take a screenshot of the number, you can save the number on your phone. That is the number you can use to reach out to me after this session. So for now, I'm going to be pausing, and I'm going to be calling on the facilitator, who is Samuel, that will be, taking you on the journey to shed more light into the life of a manual tester, into the life of an automation tester, the opportunities attached to become a software tester, just to shed more light generally into the life of a software tester, and what you get when you enroll on the journey with us. So without further ado, Samuel, over to you. You can share your screen.
Okay, Akim, thank you so much. Please let me know if you guys can hear me, and I'm about to share my screen.
Yes.
Once you can see my screen, please let me know.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you, but your screen is not showing.
Can we mute our mic, please? Can everyone mute their mic, please? Thank you very much.
I believe you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can.
Yes,
all right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me run down to a quick introduction about myself. So my name is Samuel Ubong. I'm a master's degree holder in computer science and education from the prestigious University of Uyo. And I have over 15 years of experience in computing or in information technology generally. I started tech in 2007, far back in Uyo. Then I have over 6 years of experience as a quality assurance engineer, both manual and automation testing. And I currently work remotely and on-site with MTN Nigeria and Neotech in India. This is a fully remote role as an automation and manual engineer. So you can check me up on LinkedIn. This is my LinkedIn profile link, or you could just go on LinkedIn and search for Samuel Ubong, and then you have more detailed information about me. All right, so I'll be talking about software quality assurance engineering and why you should at least become a software quality assurance engineer. So what is really software testing for quality assurance engineer? Software testing, like we can see, is simply a process of analyzing a software item to simply detect the difference between, or the difference that exists between the required specification and the actual specification. Before a software is developed, we have what is known as software processes, software life cycle, software stages. It basically goes through 7 or 6 stages in software development, where we have the requirements gathering phase, and we talk about the design phase, we talk about the development phase, then testing phase, and then deployment phase. So in the requirement gathering analysis phase, a requirement document is produced or developed by a business analyst. This requirement document is what states the functionality and the features of the application. In the requirement document, you'll find things like, what is this application going to do? What problems are going to be solved by this application? Take, for instance, a bank application. In bank application, you basically a customer would want to view his or her bank account balance, and a customer should be able to transfer funds from one account to another. So these are features. For you to be able to transfer funds from one account or from your account to another account, then the software must be able to satisfy that functionality. For you to be able to check your bank balance on that application, then the software development processes must be able to satisfy that particular processes. Then talking about software quality assurance engineering, we basically have two types, or a lot of them. We have the manual testing and we have the automation testing. We have the performance testing, we have database testing, API testing, and a whole lot of them. So in this training course, I will basically take you through all of these processes, all of this methodology, all of these types of software testing. The manual testing is used simply trying to use the application as the real user and checking if those functionalities or the features on the application are actually working as expected. So that is a brief explanation about software testing and quality assurance. Now let me move on to the next slide. The next slide is, why do companies need software tester? You may ask yourself, if I enroll in this training and become a quality assurance engineer, will there be jobs for me? Yes, the answer is yes. This is why company will need you. They will need you to ensure that the application they are building, that the application they are sending out is secure in terms of security. Take, for instance, a bank application. No company, no bank will want to release the software and then hackers or intruders are able to use that software and steal their customers' money or sensitive information. So they must make sure that the application is secure. And who will let the company know that this software is secure before it can be deployed? It is the tester's responsibility. It is the quality assurance engineer responsibility to first of all test this application and check that this application is secure before it is being deployed. So company will basically employ you to check the application security and report that the application is okay, that the application is not exposing sensitive data, and that the user with invalid credentials cannot basically log into this application before company can take such risk in deploying the application to the Play Store if it is for Android users, to iOS Store for the iOS user, and also to the web server where users can as well interact with this application via a web browser. Then another reason why company will employ you as a software tester is to save money. If there is a defect in the particular in a software and the software is deployed, let me also give an instance here. We remember the incidents of Boeing 737 plane that crashed in Ethiopia and also crashed in Indonesia. So this was a bug. From investigation, it is realized that Boeing company as a whole manufactured Boeing's 737 plane. After manufacturing this plane, they discovered that this plane had a defect, a hardware problem. And then they had spent a lot of money in manufacturing this plane. So the company wanted to cut corners. Boeing as a company wanted to develop a software that can correct the errors or the flaws that the hardware has. So what they did was to develop a software known as MCAS. MCAS is just an automated software that takes controls of most of the applications or most of the pilot duties when the plane is taking off and also when the plane is landing. But then proper testing was not done on that particular software. And they went ahead to release this plane to the market. And a lot of airplane carriers bought this plane. And after some time, the plane recorded 2 crashes that killed a lot of people, and they had to ground that plane. At that point, that plane, where those Boeing planes were grounded, Boeing as a company lost a lot of money. This was because they did not pay attention to quality assurance. They did not pay more attention to testing to ensure that the application was defect-free, that the application that controlled that plane was error-free, and they went ahead to sell it out. And this cost them a lot of money when the plane were grounded. So with proper testing, company can save money, company can save costs. Another instance is the bank. Take, for instance, a bank builds an application and go ahead to release this application to the end users without checking the security of this application. And users or intruders or hackers are able to hack into the software and steal their customer money, definitely the bank at that point will run into loss. So no organization want to take risk. No organization want to be in this situation. That's why they will value quality assurance engineers and software testers to ensure or to conduct proper testing and proper quality engineering before this software is being released to the end user. Another reason companies will also need your services is because it protects the brand reputation. Talking about company brand, like the Boeing we mentioned, when the two plane crashes were recorded, a lot of travelers avoided anything Boeing. If any airline that made use of Boeing plane, no customer would want to travel with such a flight company, and this affected Boeing as a brand a reputation, like we are saying here. Another reason companies will also want your service is to boost customer contentment. Hello, please mute your mic. When the application is stable and when the application is delivering on its mandates, customers will be satisfied. Take, for instance, you use a bank application. I don't want to mention any of the bank. Probably you use one of the bank and you are trying to make transfer. And at that point, that bank transfer is not going through. You simply drop that particular bank app. And at that point, that bank may lose money. And you move on to the next bank app and make your transfer. And if that goes through, then the bank that the transfer was successful will actually make profit from there, because every transaction you do online, they tend to charge you some little amount of money for that. Then another reason is the product quality. A lot of companies, because they are not the only one doing business. Take, for instance, banks. There are a lot of banks and there are a lot of telecommunication industry. There are a lot of other competitors in the market. So if your product is not of the topmost quality, then customers or users may leave your product and move on to the next application. Then another thing users also consider in using application is how easy is it to make use of this application. You will agree with me that Facebook as a social media application is quite easy to use than Twitter. Even uneducated person can make use of Facebook or more than the way they understand the interfaces on the Twitter environment. This is also talking about the product quality and product ease of use. So in the course of this training, it is your duty as a software quality assurance engineer to be able to advise the company, whichever company you are working for, on how to ensure quality, on how to ensure ease of use on the application, and also advise them and get a good quality product delivered to the end user. So this is why you should enroll in this program and also get trained and become a top quality assurance engineer. We will train you both in manual testing, performance testing, and also the automation testing, like Akin mentioned. Then what does a software tester do? As a software tester, your primary duty is to perform software testing procedures on software. You will generally have knowledge over software quality testing tools and techniques. Once you enroll on this program, we will teach you how to conduct a quality assurance engineering in software. We will teach you how to conduct manual testing on an application. We will teach you how to conduct performance testing on application. We will also teach you how to conduct an automation testing on an application, and also have your defect report delivered to the company or to the client that you are working for. Then this is basically the different types of software testing we have. We have the black box, we have the gray box, and we have the white box. The black box is basically you checking the user interface to ensure that all the functionalities are working as stated on the requirements document. You basically don't have access to the production code, while the gray box is just a combination of both black box and the white box. Then you can also, we will also teach you how to conduct white box testing, where you will go into developer's code and check the logic in the code and also make some correction or point out some sensitive thing in that aspect to the developers. Then talking about the black box testing, we have both the functional and the non-functional. The functional has to do with the features of the application, while the non-functional has to do with the performance. Now, for every application that is being deployed, there is a required load. Every application has the numbers of users it can accommodate per unit of time. That is why when Nigerian government brought out a cashless policy, we noticed that a lot of banks in Nigeria were unable to carry out transactions because they were not prepared. These banks were not prepared for the cashless policy. Immediately they started having much influx on this application. The application failed in most cases, and transactions were mostly failing during that period of time because a lot of people were trying to jump on the application. A lot of people were trying to make transactions at the same time, and these banks were not just prepared for this. So that has to do with the non-functional testing, checking to see the numbers of users an application, be it mobile app or web application, can take per unit of time. We will teach you both the functional part that has to do with the regression, the progression, the smoke testing, the sanity testing, the cross-browser testing, and experience-based testing. This training will be 70% practical and 30% theory, so that to equip you with enough theory background so you can attend interview and also be able to land the job for yourself. Then talking about the non-functional aspect, we will teach you the security, the installation, the resilience, reliability of this application, the usability of the application, how easy is it to use the application, the compliance. There are regulators, there are bodies that regulate a lot of applications, like the banking industry, they have regulators. The telecommunication industry, the NCC in Nigeria here, is the body that regulates telecommunication. We will also teach you localization, trying to make this application unique to every country. Take for instance, Facebook. Facebook, yeah, for people in Nigeria using Facebook, you can switch Facebook to Yoruba language. You can also switch Facebook to Hausa language. That is simply localization. And now this application should be able to show you your time in your local time as well, in your local time zone. So all of this testing will be conducted both practically. We will do it in a practical way, and the training will be easy for everyone to understand. Then the performance testing, like I mentioned, the load testing, the endurance testing, the stress testing, the volume testing. The performance testing is simply how many numbers of users can this application carry per unit of time before we send it out. All of this should be known before this application is deployed, just to forestall an unforeseen circumstance, a situation that will make the company lose money. All right, so the next thing here is how to become a software tester. How can you become a software tester? It is simple. Just enroll in this training and we will train you, we will equip you with the practical knowledge and also on-hand training on how to test an application and report bugs on this application, and also how to automate this application using Cypress. So you basically just have to enroll in this course and then you become a software tester. Benefit of becoming a software tester is just job security and high demand. As a software tester or a quality assurance engineer, you can work from anywhere. Tech now is one of the easiest ways for one to escape poverty, and technology skills are in high demand. Now, I don't apply, I've gotten to a point of my life that I don't apply for jobs. Recruiters, employers reach out to me on LinkedIn. A lot of messages. I wake up in the morning, open my LinkedIn inbox, and I'm seeing messages like, Samuel, are you free for an engagement? Are you free to pick up a new role? And then I'm not free. There are a lot of jobs, but fewer people in the market. We have a lot of job openings in software quality assurance engineering, but we don't have enough people to take up this role. So this is the benefit, because there's high demand in the market and there's also job security, that you can work from home, and you can also work for more than 2 companies. You can even work for 3 companies if you can. So this is the benefit of becoming a software quality assurance engineer. And it is also high paying as well. It's in Nigeria, in Nigerian market here, the least you get even as an intern is about 400,000 naira starting salary. Then imagine you have 2 years of experience, 3 years of experience where you can pick up a senior role. We are talking about 800, 1 million, 2 million thousand naira job per month. Then if you are lucky to have, which it is what this course is all about, making you, equipping you with the skills so that you can compete even with people outside the shores of your zone, irrespective of where you are joining from. You should be able to pick a job from anywhere. A lot of US companies are recruiting. They're currently looking for talent all over the world. So you can pick up more jobs and work from your location and get paid in hard currency as well. And it is also a good pay for you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Samuel, for that. If anyone has any question, please, you can start to raise your hand. If you have any questions, I'll be calling people shortly to ask their questions. So if you have any questions regarding whether the journey or what it entails, anything, you can raise your hand and I will be calling you shortly. But before then, Samuel, are you still sharing?
All right, let me share.
You can stop sharing. If you want to stop sharing, please. Thanks.
All right, I'm not sharing.
All right, that's fine. So let me know if you can see my screen. All right, I believe everyone can see my screen, right? All right, so before I start calling on people, I think I have one of my ex-students online that has gone through the process to share his testimony, just to encourage anyone out there that thinks, oh, this is an impossible journey to embark on, just to encourage them that, regardless of your background, you can make it happen. All that is required is your determination and your hunger for change. Then we handle the rest. So without further ado, quickly, Shil, do you want to unmute yourself and just talk to us? Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can all hear me.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. My name is Sheon, and I'm happy to be speaking to you guys. I remember vividly when I was in your exact position where I was hearing about this new thing, but it wasn't new to me. I already had friends that were doing it, but as people are, they will not tell you what is feeding them, how they're making money. Everyone keeps quiet. So I knew what they were doing, but I didn't know how to get into it until my boss at work said, he has this link into this thing. Are you interested? And I said, yeah. I've been wanting to get into it for a long time. So anyway, I came to this taster session. Before coming, I knew I wanted to do it anyway because I was tired of my job. I was earning okay, but it was not enough. I needed to upgrade. So anyway, I started my journey. I had basic knowledge of computers. So I used to use my laptop for watching Netflix, sending emails. That was it. Saving pictures, and that was all. So I was not a computer guru, or I did not have any deep knowledge about computers. So I was scared because I thought I would struggle. So I spoke to Aki and he said, no, he actually wants people to come in fresh-minded, have zero knowledge of how a computer works, because you don't need that. We want to school you fresh. So I said, okay, no problem. So I started, and initially I found it tough. That's the honest truth. I did not understand it. It was a new thing to me. I felt the acronyms were too many abbreviations, too many acronyms.
Sorry, please. Can we see your face?
Pardon?
Can we see your face, please? Let's see the person talking to us.
Thank you.
Oh, you want a video?
Yeah, the video.
Okay, cool. 1 second. Can you see me now? Because I've put my video on, but I can't see myself.
No. Unfortunately, because of the security, can everyone hear me? 1 second. Sorry. Because of the security, I'll be the only one that can see you. We've enhanced the security just because of our previous experience of people trying to hack into the system. So unfortunately, you won't be able to see his face. You can only see me. You can only see admin. All right, let me do something. You want to see his face? Let me do something quickly and you can see his face. Sheon, are you still talking?
Yes, I'm still here.
Yeah, 1 second. All right. Yeah, you can enable your video now. They should be able to see your face now. Yes.
Okay. 1 second. All right. So I hope you can see me because I can't see you.
I can see you. Yeah, I believe they should be able to see you.
All right, perfect. Sorry, it's Saturday morning. I've not had a shower. I'm just prepping for a wedding today. So we started, I was struggling. I felt the acronyms were too many. Then all the steps, I was struggling to understand it. But I had two options. It was either I understood it or I go back to my old dead end job. And going back to my old dead end job was not an option. So I had to understand it. So I thought, okay, what has been distracting me? What is making me struggle? Because I went to uni, I'm educated, so I should be able to pick these things up. And also, all the other people that know how to do it in the world, they weren't born with 3 heads. So what am I doing wrong? So I sat with Akin again, had a long discussion, and realized that one, my computer, my laptop was too slow. It wasn't powerful enough to handle Visual Studio, the tool. It was an i3. I didn't even know what an i3 meant at the time. He had to explain it to me. So I decided to buy a laptop that was an i7. It's stronger. So I changed my laptop. I got to understand that my Wi-Fi at home was not strong enough as well. So I changed it to fiber optics. Then finally, I looked at myself. What is my daily routine? What do I do when I come back from work that I'm not having time to read or join in the meetings and actually study? And I realized that one, I was being distracted with PlayStation and I was going out in the evenings. So I cut all those things out. Why? Because I only needed to cut those things out for 3 months. Once I could dedicate time to this automation for 3 months, you know it for the rest of your life. And that was what I did. So after about, I would say, 4 weeks of serious dedication, I understood it. Initially, it was gibberish to me. It was a foreign language. But after 4 weeks, it became English and it became Yoruba because Yoruba is my first language. So I now understood it. I understood how it worked. I could explain and help people solve problems. So now that part was done. Now I needed to move on to securing a job. Initially, when I did my training, the minute we finished the training, I did not move into applying for jobs. Now, what happens when you don't move immediately is you forget what you learn. Because it's like you learning French. Your first language is your first language. You know that naturally. So if you now learn French in uni and you don't move into speaking French daily, after a few months or weeks, you start to forget what you've learned. And so that was what happened to me. So I started to forget. I was not too confident anymore. I couldn't face interviews. So I had to go back again and refresh myself. And I decided now I'm going to face these interviews. Anyway, so I started my interview journey. And I realized that you're always learning. You're learning in class, you're learning in the training, you're learning in the interviews as well. So at that time, I think it was just after COVID. Yes. So they used to interview in person. So I went for a few soft interviews, I went for a few difficult ones, and I gave up. But I went back to my dead end job and I thought, no, I'm just going to die. This is going to kill me. I need to go back to this. So I came back to it again. And by the time I came back, I had realized my mistake. My mistake was when I was interviewing before, every interview I went for, every job I applied for, I believed they must give it to me. So once I go for the interview and I fail the interview, I would become depressed because I thought it was my job. Now, when I came back to it, I came back with a different mindset. And the mindset was, I will go to each interview like as if I'm going to school, I'm going to learn. And I will do 66 interviews. By the 67th one, I will get it. My plan was every interview I go for, I record what they're asking me. So I'm interviewing on my laptop. My phone is next to me. I'm recording it. Once I finish that interview, I'm writing all the questions out and I'm going to the people that know, the experts. They answer it for me and I read it every morning. I was reading from 5:30 to 7 every morning because I knew recruiters would be calling me by 9. So when I came back with this mindset now, I think I only did maybe 6 interviews. Then I got my job. Now, the only reason why it was even 6 interviews was because they're in stages. You do stage 1, stage 2. So by that time, I had become so professional at doing interviews that I had a story. My interviews were no longer boring. Trust me, my initial interviews, they were very boring. When I used to send them to Akin, they'll tell them, they won't remember you with this one that you're saying, because they'll just ask me A and I'll answer B. That's it. No story, no charisma, no emotion. And that's not the way it works. You have to have emotion. You have to make sure your interview is memorable. Anyway, so I had this interview and they called me. One day, my recruiter just called me. I was on my way to work that morning and he called to say, he's pleased to tell me that they want me for the role. I was not expecting it at all. And I said, okay. And then he told me how much they were offering, that they're offering this amount. Am I willing to accept it? You see, when he told me the amount, I was driving, I was on the motorway. I got so confused. I indicated out of the motorway. I entered some wrong turning. When I got to the next roundabout, I parked. I didn't understand where I was going to anymore. Why? Because it was more than I was expecting. Now, for me, I'd been applying for jobs that were around the 50K, 55,000 pounds mark. I didn't want to apply for anything 60, 70 because my assumption was that the interview will be difficult if I apply for jobs that are high money. So, but I wouldn't go for anything less than 50 or 48. But now suddenly these people are offering me my basic pay. They were offering to pay me 62 and then my complete package was 80 grand. So I couldn't understand it. I just felt, you know what, this guy is lying. He's going to call me later and say, oh, I gave you the figures for the wrong person. So I said, yeah, I'll accept it, no problem. And I thought, should I go back home and not go to work anymore? But I thought, nah, let me go to work just in case. So I went to work. And they sent me the emails at work to say, look, this is your offer. Confirm that you accept it, sign this, sign that. And the figures were still the same. And that was it. That's how I got into tech. And my background was in social care. I was a manager managing social care services. So I didn't know anything about tech before. Now, since my journey into tech now, they employed me to write in C#. When I go into my company, they did not have any C# projects ongoing, but they employed me to write in C#. So they are a data company. They needed Python language. So they came to ask me, do you know how to write in Python? I said, no. And they said, okay, no problem. So I started learning it myself, but I didn't learn it for maybe 2 weeks. They said, no, we'll move you to another project. So they moved me into API testing. And then when they moved me into API testing, I ran back to Aki to say, look, these people have put me on an API testing project. I don't know how to do API testing. Can you teach me? And he was like, look, did you put it on your CV? I said, no. He said, then go back and tell them you don't know how to do it. That way they will teach you. Because they've looked at your CV, they know you don't know it. So don't go and form strongman that they'll just give it to you and tell you they want results. No. So I went back to work the next day. My manager asked me if I've done API testing before. I said no. And he said, okay, we'll teach you. The guy tried to teach me for like maybe an hour. The guy cannot teach to save his life. He doesn't know how to teach. So even he got confused. And then they left it. So myself, I took myself to go and meet people I know outside of work that know how to do it. And then they started to show me how to do it. Because see, and when you get into the industry, no one will give you work now and say, we want the results today. They don't do that. They give you onboarding. Onboarding takes like about 4 to 6 weeks. Onboarding means induction. They will be sitting you with different people in the workplace that will be telling you what they do. That's all they're doing. They're just telling you what they're doing, you do not have to know it. And then they'll figure out a team for you and figure out what jobs they want you to be working on. And even when you start working on those tickets and jobs, they won't give it to you and say, hey, I want results today. No, it takes time. So that's me. I've been there for 6 months now. I have not written one code. My API testing that I'm doing has been given to me for like 3 months now. Yes, I do it, but I don't do it officially. What that means is they've not approved the use of the tool we're using for it. So I have a backend tool that I'm using just to practice, but they still need to approve the tool. So it's still in discussion. So bottom line, I've been there 6 months. I'm not doing any work. Now, convenience. My old job, I used to work 5 days a week, every day, 9 to 5, going to work. Now with this job, my contract says work from home 3 days, then come into the office 2 days. But in reality, they told me straight away, nobody needs you 2 days. People come once a week and that's it. Some people don't even come. My boss for 3 months, I didn't see you. So I only go into work once a week, which is a serious change from me having to go to work for like 17 years, every day. So for me right now, for the last 6 months, my life has felt like as if I'm on holiday. I'm just cruising. Life is easy. And with tech, they have money, they spend money, they take care of you. At my workplace, we have massage room, we have a pool room, we have a snooker room, we have a table soccer room. They expect you to get up every 45 minutes and leave your desk. Go and play, walk away, because they don't want you stressed at all. If you take tea, they have all the teas in the world. It's free. Go and take it. If you drink anything, leave the cup on your table. They have people that walk around the floors to come and pick it up. They will wash it for you. You don't need to do anything. They have fruits from morning till night. They change it every 2 hours. Biscuits. So what do you need in life? My workplace will dash it to you. You want to work from home. How many screens do you need? You need 2, they send it to you. You need the desk, they send it to you. You need the chair, laptop, they give you brand new HP, Bang, and all those things speakers. It is mad. So I'm glad I started the journey and I'm glad I'm still there. Let me tell you one of the benefits again. Right now, I'm already looking for a second job. Why? Because I've got too much free time. Between me and you, I'll tell you my morning routine. I wake up at 8:55 every morning. I put my laptop on at 9 o'clock. I look if I have meetings. If I don't, I put my laptop on Do Not Disturb next to me and I sleep till 12. Then when it's 12, I start to communicate with my colleagues so that it looks like as if I'm active. I look at my Azure board. Okay, any ticket to pick up. Remember, they've not approved the tool I'm meant to be using. So really, I haven't got anything to do. And then I start to do chores around the house. That's what I spend my day doing. Once in a while, there's a ticket, I pick you up, I connect with one of my developers, we talk, we do this, we do that. But really, I am not doing anything. So imagine, and that's a permanent role. So I started applying for a contract role now. Now, the good thing about this is it's a career path. You could see your career going well because like now I was looking online, I was employed as an automation tester. Automation lead is like starting salary is like 70 to 90K. That's the bracket. And it goes up to 120, depending on how many years you've got. I'm speaking in pounds because I live in England. So I can imagine how much it will be in Nigeria or even in America. America, they pay more. So all I just want to say is to encourage you guys to get into it. The good thing about software testing and automation is it is technical. Now, because it's technical, a lot of people don't want to do it, which means there's a market for it. Everyone's running to project management, business analysis, data analyst, scrum master. Why? Because they're not technical roles. You can read for it off the internet, put a CV together, and that's it. You're just managing people. But with software automation, it's technical because you have to understand some basics. And trust me, those basics are not hard. They are just a 4-step process. Remember, I'm from a social care housing background, and now I'm doing this. So if I can do it, you can do it as well. You don't need to know nothing from before. So now, because it's technical, the market is massive. There are jobs everywhere, especially if you're looking for permanent and you are open to collecting anything from between 45 grand to 70 grand. The market is open for you. So, and if you're ready for day rates, for anything from 300 to 700 range a day, it is open for you and you're willing to move about and travel. Now, a lot of those jobs, when you look at it online, they will say they want you in the office 3 days a week. It is a lie. When you start, you'll find out they don't even want to see you for the next 2 months because you can work remotely. That's the beauty of the job. You can work remotely. So if you're thinking about it, I hope my story can encourage you. Let me see. This is my typical desk. My laptop is in my laptop bag. Let me show you. I have a work phone. My work people, they don't call me. I don't even think they know my number. If they want to talk to you, so that's my work laptop. Yeah. It's only in the bag because I went to work yesterday, which is hardly. I only go once a week, and I try to go on a Tuesday. But I have to go in yesterday because I wanted to look good for my boss. I'm traveling next week. So that's my journey, people. You can do it. You're even lucky because I heard Akinse is teaching you guys performance testing. During my time, we weren't taught performance testing. And performance testing is a role on itself. If you go to job sites, you'll see them. They apply, they put out applications for performance testing roles all the time as a role on itself. All they want you to come and do is only performance testing. So I was telling him before this call that I want to learn that performance testing. Because once they employ you for it, that's all they're going to give to you. Performance testing. Just be doing performance testing for us. And that's it. And it's not a lot to do. You just be there all day, then they'll send you one, then you do it, you're done. It's not a lot at all. It's easy. You can all do it. Trust me, you can all do it. So that's my journey. If anyone has got any questions you want to ask me, I'm all yours. I'm here. You can unmute yourself and ask me.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. If anyone has got any questions because of our time, please kindly raise your hand and I'll be calling you shortly. Or if you don't want to raise your hand, you can put your questions in the chat, but I'd like to hear your voice. So why not? We are all here to learn, right? So to share ideas, So why not raise your hand, talk to me, and let's clarify anything that you may have. Because of our time, I won't be calling anyone else. You can hear that's just a typical story. And what he failed to tell you is because of his free time now, he's currently doing Scrum Master training so that you can look for the second role, as a Scrum Master, because now it's gotten into software automation or software testing and it needs another role, and is currently undergoing a Scrum Master training at the moment. So that is that, it is possible, it is doable for anyone. As I said, my story as well, my background was accounting before I transitioned. So it doesn't matter what your background is. All that is required from you is your determination. And quickly from the chat, someone made mention that is it going to involve coding? This is like 3 or 4 in one training. We have different type of testing. We have manual testing that doesn't require coding. Performance testing doesn't really require coding. It is only automation testing that requires coding, and that coding is not like you want to start developing. It's something you can know. It's just to give you an edge in the market. So it is doable, and also you can decide which lane you want to go. After acquiring the knowledge for all, you can say, you know what, I only want to become a manual tester, or I only want to do software automation, or I only want to do performance. The decision is yours. If you think, oh, probably coding is too much, you can choose your lane. That is the beauty of the training. Oku Ime, you raise your hand. Ask your question. You can unmute and ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah,
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. I just want to ask because I didn't get it clearly during the when you talk about the certificate. You know, if you are sending CV to any company, for them to even look at your CV or consider you, they must maybe have something that is tangible that they can use, maybe like a certificate. So I want to know more about the certification.
I sent the link in the chat earlier on. There's nothing more than you reading about. I can tell you about it, but if you read about the body itself, you can know the benefit that is attached to it. And also you can see us on their website as well. So the CPD standard, they are a body, accreditation body. So that means all our courses that we offer has been accredited, and the certificate that you'll be getting, right? It's recognized in over 60 countries. I cannot remember all those 60 or over 60 countries. You know, I only know the key ones like UK, Australia, Canada, US, Ghana, Nigeria, and you know, so many other ones as well. You can put it on your CV, you can put it on your LinkedIn, it is recognized. But again,
Okay.
it is you getting a job is not dependent on the certificate. It is dependent on your experience. What you can tell them you can do, what you can defend that you can do. And that is more reason why we are giving a reference as well, because you'll be working aside the practical training, you also be working on a project with us, which can go on your CV. So nowadays, gone are the eras whereby, yes, certificates, you know, they take certificate over experience. But I think the reverse is the case now. You know, your experience talks more than the certification. They can look at the certification later. Many of my students don't even have ISTQB certificate. That is a professional one, you know, but they are working. Why? Because they can prove that we know what we are talking about and we can defend it. We can, you know, we can showcase where we've done it before as well. So yeah, I don't know whether that has answered your question.
All right, sir. Yes, it has answered, sir. Another thing, sir. Please concerning the payments.
Yes.
You said there's room for installmental payment. So how much can someone be, you know, be paying installmentally?
So actually,
And
it's
for how many
only
months?
the instrumental payment should be twice, should be two payments. You know, half payment to
Okay.
start, and the other half can be due in 5 to 6 weeks time. But maybe there can be room for 3 installments, maybe. But normally the installment is always 2.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, just for any other question you may have after this call, the number on your screen, you can note it down and just message me on that number after the call, then we can see what we can do.
All right, sir. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks, Oko Ime. What are the languages one need to learn for the automation testing from Adeboye? For the automation testing, Samuel will be teaching you Cypress for the automation testing. It's one of the most popular programming language that is being required for automation testing out there now. So there are many jobs for automation testing using Cypress out there. But again, that is not the only thing that will be covered. You know, JMeter for performance will be covered, manual testing will be covered. It's a whole lot. It's a 4-month program. So it's not just scratching the surface. We are actually diving in deep, you know. So yeah, I don't know whether that has answered your question, Adeboye Olanrewaju. From Vivo, how much is the training from Vivo? The training in pounds is 800 pounds. But you can get up to 50% discount. You can get 50% discount if you are paying everything at once, and you can get 25% discount if you want to split the payment. As I said earlier on, we only have 10 slots left for the cohort that will be starting, did I say on the 19th of this month? Yeah, that will be starting on the 19th of this month. So the training will run twice a week. It will run Wednesdays and Thursdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. For the 4 months. And also, when I put you on a project, because you'll be working with an agile team, with a Scrum team, there will be need to perform, to observe all the agile rituals or ceremonies as well. So that one will be Monday to Friday, but it is flexible. That will be, the timing for your meetings and all of that will be decided by you and your teammates, At the moment, some of the groups are doing their meetings 7 p.m. at night, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m. But the decision will be from you and your team members to make. I don't even have hands in that at all. All right, that is that. Future, you raise your hand. You can unmute and ask your question. Future. Aite.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mr. Ashio.
Good morning or good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so thank you for the enlightening statement. I mean, I love the fact that you were vulnerable. I appreciate that. So I was going to ask, because currently I'm actually learning blockchain development. So I just want to ask the relevance this skill has to what I'm currently doing.
Do you want to transition later on, or you just want to see the benefits to blockchain? Okay, see, regardless of whether even is blockchain, crypto, any application at all, let me break it down. Before the end user, which is you and I, start using that application must have gone through what is called SDLC. And what is SDLC? That is Software Development Lifecycle. That application needs to be developed, whether it's blockchain application, whether it's crypto application, whether it's bank application. After development, testing needs to take place, and that is where we are needed. We are very important in SDLC. Very, very important, because if we say this product or this particular functionality, is not good enough or it's got defect, that functionality cannot be deployed to a live environment where the end customer can start using it. That is the kind of power we have. So we take care of the testing, looking for defects, checking whether it meets all the acceptance criteria that has been written for that ticket, for that functionalities, And it is only when that you are satisfied that yes, this is working as expected, before they can ship such functionality to live environments. So you can see, what has happened before the application that you are using at the moment for the blockchain. Before you can use it at all, it must have gone through what is referred to as SDLC. Development must have happened, testing must have happened. They have to be sure that yes, this thing we are deploying is fit enough, it's fit for purpose, it's good enough for our customers before they deploy it and people start using it, whether it's internal customer or external customers.
All right, Akin, in addition to what you have mentioned, if you are developing a blockchain application and the team you are working with is using agile methodology, if you look at the SDLC, the software development lifecycle, testing is in stage 4. But then agile says that testing should start right from the stage 1. That is the requirements gathering. So as a software tester, you can also make an adjustment to even the requirements gathering documents before the application is even developed. A lot of bugs, a lot of defects can even be caught right from the beginning of the application, and this helps save cost. So in the course of this training, we will teach you all of that, both the static training that the application has not yet been developed, and when it has been developed and you test. And after testing, you also follow up on what is known as post-deployment testing, checking the live environment to be sure that the application is working in production as it was working fine in the test environment. That is why the company don't just release you after testing. They keep you because they need to conduct what is known as maintenance on the application. So they will need you to be there, monitor the live environment, report on any defect that is there. And also when the defect is being fixed, you conduct what is known as retest before it can be pushed again to the production environment. And you also follow up on the production environment. So it goes in cycle. So that's why we say you should enroll in this course where you will have the opportunity to learn a lot about not just testing, software development lifecycle, agile methodology itself, and the rest.
I have a question.
Thank you, Samuel, for that.
Can I go ahead?
Marcellus, there's someone on the queue though. Can you raise your hand and I'll call you shortly? Yeah, Godwin has been raising his hand. Godwin, do you want to unmute? And probably after Godwin, I'll call Marcellus. Godwin, are you there? All right, Marcellus, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, it's just I was gonna ask what life cycle is being used for just the maintenance after the software has been built, and do you scrape away the development in that particular life cycle?
Samuel, do you want to answer that?
So if I heard you clearly, you are asking for asking about the software development lifecycle, right?
Yes.
All right. So software development lifecycle has about 6 phases. The first one is the requirements gathering, where you have the business analyst at that point. And if the team is using agile methodology, it is expected that the quality assurance engineer or the software tester work hand in hand with the business analyst to develop requirements that are not ambiguous, to develop requirements that will really solve the problem of the organization. And after this requirement is developed, we move into stage 2, which is the design phase. On that design phase, you have people like the UI UX designers coming up to develop the user interface of the application with tools like Figma. Then as a quality assurance engineer, you also go to the Figma to check this design that has been made for the application. You notice on a lot of software, like for instance, Facebook is not using blue and white because they so much love the color. They use it because they want users to spend more time on the application. So as such, they choose colors that will not be hurtful to the eyes. Take for instance, you have an application that has more of red colors. No user will want to be looking at red color for so long. It will strain the eyes. So they carefully craft out this thing. As a quality assurance engineer, you check the Figma design. What are the colors used on this design? You make correction right from that point before it even go to the development phase, which is the stage 3 of the software development lifecycle. During the development lifecycle, this is where the bulk of the job is done. This is the point that developers try to write code to come up with the functional software. At that point, you as a quality assurance engineer, you are doing what is known as scripting, trying to look at the requirements gathering that was stated, the acceptance criteria and exit criteria, or what is known as user story, and use that to develop your test cases. Because it is these test cases that you will use to test a particular functionality on the application and certify if it is working as expected, if it meets the acceptance criteria. So at the point of stage 3 that the developer is writing the code for the application, you are developing test case documents so that by the time the application is ready for testing, which is the phase 4 of software development lifecycle, you're already executing your test script already, conducting testing at that point before you certify that application okay. Until you say the application is okay as a quality assurance engineer, no company will push that application to live environment where user can start using. So software development lifecycle does not take away the software development. as a stage. So it is there in stage 4. And after that stage 4, you need to test. Oh, sorry, it is there in stage 3. After the stage 3, you need to test in stage 4 before it goes live. If you test and there is a defect or there is a bug, there's a problem with the software, you report. And once you report, most organizations use Jira to log this defect ticket. So we will also teach you how to work with a project management tool. Like we said, most companies use Jira. So you go on Jira, log this defect, and assign it to a developer that has been working on that particular functionality. And the developer sees the defect. On the defect, you have to tell the developer steps to reproduce this bug, the environment you found this bug, a lot of information about this bug, so that the developer will be able to understand the kind of defects you are reporting. And the developer will work on that particular defect. After the defect is being fixed, he has to push it back to you to retest in stage 4 again. You have to retest the functionality and certify it okay before it can go live. And after retesting, you need to conduct what is known as regression test. Regression test is simply checking that this bug that has been fixed has not broken the existing functionality that were working perfectly well as at your last testing the cycle before it moves to the deployment phase. On the deployment phase, you also follow up with what is known as post-deployment testing to ensure that everything is working perfectly fine on the user end. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Samuel, for that.
Thank you for the in-depth.
Yeah, while you're still online, Samuel, there's a question on the charts by Oku. He said, does that mean software tester will need to have idea on almost all the tools in software development, or have an idea on almost all the software development tools?
No, you must not have an idea on almost all the software development tools. Fine. When you talk about software development tools, we are talking about different languages used in developing software. For instance, Python for the back end, talk about JavaScript for the front end, also talk about Node.js for back end, Python, C#, and C language, and even Java. You don't need to know how to program with these programming languages as a tester, but then you really need to understand the processes in developing software itself. You really need to understand the steps. The software development lifecycle is paramount, is important for every tester to understand and to know, because you are working in a team. You are not working alone. You are working in a team where you have developers. You are working in a team where you have business analysts, where you have DevOps engineers, those that will deploy the application. Now you also have UI UX designers that will come up with the design of the application. So it's a teamwork. You basically need to know what is done at every stage of developing this application. And the tools you are to be comfortable with are your testing tools. How do you start converting the requirements documents into your test cases? We will teach you how to do this. How do you execute this manual testing? You need to know how to do it. How do you report a defect if there is one? And you also need to understand the languages, the terminologies, and other things you should expect, because it is a cross-functional team. You also have Scrum Masters on the team, right? So it's a teamwork. We will teach you all of this. So you don't need to understand what the developer really do or the development tools, but you need to really understand your testing tools. It's paramount, it's imperative that you understand them, and we will teach you all of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel, for that. I really appreciate it. Margaret, you raise your hand. You can unmute and ask your question.
Yes,
Margaret.
sorry.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Margaret. I just want to ask, I'm from Ireland.
Yeah.
And I've already asked for funding from the social welfare because I'm unemployed, and they're giving it to me for the coding in Dublin.
Okay.
But I want to do this course because there's more stuff in it, modules. I'm just asking, is there any way I can get funding over there even for half it? No. Or do I have to pay the 800? I know you said you get 15% off at the moment.
Yeah, you get 50% because we are a private company. We have nothing to do with government or any government parastatals. So yeah, there is no funding for this. There's nobody funding this. You just have to do it
Yes.
yourself. Yeah.
And what date do I have to have that 400 payment in? Is it euro? Would it be 400 euro for me or would it be more?
Did you say 400 euros? No, that would be
Pardon?
that would be 400 pounds.
Yes, it'll be more. Yeah.
After the discounts, yeah, it will be more than 400 euros. So I think that will
Yes.
be around 450
I
euros.
understand that. And what date do we have to? Is it the 10th you said, or?
Yes, you can just message me on that number on your screen and we can talk about
Yeah,
that.
I
Yes.
don't. The number's not on my screen anymore. That's why I'm actually talking to you as well.
What can you see on my screen? Can anyone see my screen?
I can actually see the number.
We're
All
seeing
right.
your screen.
Yeah, I can see your screen, but the number was on it earlier. It's gone again.
All right. Okay, I'll drop the
here,
number
it's here.
on the chat now. The WhatsApp number. So this is WhatsApp number. I'm dropping it on the chat now.
I'm just going to write it down now. Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah, just
Thank you
message
so
me.
much.
Yeah, no problem. Did you get that on the WhatsApp chat now? I just dropped that on the WhatsApp.
You're
Sorry,
so good.
sorry, on
Thank you.
on the Zoom chat rather.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks. Yeah, so any other question from anyone? As I said earlier on, the start date for this will be on the 19th of July. It will be very in-depth. You know, I cannot overemphasize how in-depth that training will be because it will be grounded. It will take you on all the journeys, equip you with the right skills and knowledge for you to start that journey. And you have a choice to make as well. You can put all on your CV if you want to put all to give you an edge. But if you think that, oh, you know what, me, I'm not technical, or I just want to stick to manual testing, it will be covered as well. Or I just want to stick to performance testing, it will be covered as well, you know. And, you know, we can only make A when the sun shines. The sun is shining now. And I can guarantee you, out there, you cannot beat this price out there with what we are offering and all the support, all the benefits that comes with the package. You cannot beat it. I can assure you of that. Not only that, even after the training, it's not like you'll come in probably like 6 months time and I'll tell you I don't know you again. No, because every one of our students, we have what we call an alumni group that you belong to, that you can join. You know, you on that alumni group, you have people that are already working in the industry, and you have people that are still searching, and you need these people, you know, in your corner because of the raining days. You know, you might have issues at work or need a quick assistance. You need these people, and those are the kind of support that will give you as well. So, you know, I can't just talk enough on the benefits that you get out of this training. Oko, you raise your hand again.
Yes, sir. Please, when the former students was talking, he talked about the challenges he faced, like the system laptop he was using was slow for him to be able to do whatever he wanted to do. So I am asking, so what system specification is needed for
Honestly,
this program?
to start with, I'll ask you to go with Windows laptop. Anything about what's that other one? The expensive one, Apple, is complicated. You know, and when it comes to automation, it's not really, I don't use it. So I always prefer you go with a simple, you know, system, Windows. And when you're talking about Windows, go with processor is important. So you're looking at probably Intel Core or Intel Dual Core, you know, and Intel Dual Core you can get from i3, i5, i7. It depends on how much money you've got. But always ensure that the processor you are going for is Intel Core or Intel Dual Core.
Okay.
And the make doesn't matter. It can be LG, it can be Dell, it can be HP. It doesn't matter as long as it's
Linux.
Intel
How
Core.
about Linux? How about Linux? Like using Linux?
No, go for Windows,
okay.
Please.
All right. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Thanks, Oko. Benga, you raise your hand. You can unmute and ask your question. Okusa Gagbenga. All right, while Benga is preparing himself to talk to me, Adebayo, you raise your hand. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. Adebayo Atola.
Okay. Yes, thank you very much for the lecture. It was eye-opening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I just want to ask, for some of us, we actually have this background training on manual testing and I would say basic knowledge of automation, because we've learned one way or the other. And what we are trying to do now is like fresh course, because when you learn something and you didn't put into practice, you actually forget exactly most of the somethings. And for people, somebody like us that have this basic knowledge, and I will call somebody like me like an intermediate. So do you have a special class for some of us like that? Not, we are not going into it. We have a knowledge, but we just want to like refresh our skills. And number two, do you have a separate package for those that want to do just automation only? That's a number two question. Then the last question is, when you are using Cypress for automation tools, how do you how do I put it? When, let's say, a payment app and you want to test using a token, maybe you want to test if a token is working very well and everything. How do you automate that? Because I try to use the loop aspect and everything, but it's not working. So I just need an expert to explain that aspect for me. Thank you. I don't know if
Surely those are the things that you'll be exposed to if you come on the journey. For the sake of time, we might not be able to dive deep into solving individual issues, but those are the kind of questions you can ask on the journey. As regards if we offer automation testing separately, yes, before we used to, but due to popular demand as well, and due to killing using one stone to kill three birds, that is why we came up with this one. Because many people, I solely was doing automation before, but many people again will want to have a deep knowledge about manual testing, because manual testing is broad as well. Certain things you need to know. So that is why we are doing a combined course now. And it is not only manual testing, performance is there as well, and automation as well is there. And so at the moment, we are not separating them. It comes together as a package. And so if you are coming on the journey, it will just be probably when they are covering the manual bit, it will just be you refreshing yourself. And by the time they get to performance or automation, you are starting afresh with them from there as well. So for now, to answer that question, we don't have a separate class just for automation. We used to have, but not anymore. So instead, this is a combo, like a 3-in-1, which is beneficial for everyone. Instead of you learning automation, you can learn 3 different type of testing, which can stand alone on their own as well, and get value for your money. So I don't know, which other question did you ask me? I think I've answered 2, remaining 1. What's the other one? All right, you can ask me the other one if you remember. I can't remember, sorry. Favor, you raise your hand.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
My question is, the payment is going to last for how long? Like, how long before the 50% is going to expire?
Oh, you have to, the training is starting on the 19th. You have until the week starting 10.
Okay.
10th of July, yeah.
Okay.
But any other question regarding that as well, just message me on WhatsApp on this number, then I can break down further. I can break it down further for you. Someone asked on the, is that okay? Is that okay, Favor?
Yes, that's okay.
All right, thanks. Someone asked on the chat, how long is it? What's the duration of the training? The duration is 4 months. It's going to be run twice a week. Wednesdays and Thursdays for 4 months. Also, you are going to be put on a live project. So you are not only going through the practical training, you are going to be put on a live project as well, where you work as part of a full Scrum team. When I say full Scrum team, you have the developer, you have the Scrum Master, you have the product owner, you have the business analyst, you have yourself as a tester, and all of you are working together towards achieving the same objective or the same sprint goal, So it will be very interesting. It will be, full of, it's full on, so to say. Samsung, I don't know what your name is. You raise your hand.
Yes, sir. I want to reason up the issue of, and it's a package altogether for 4 in one. But I want to ask if it's possible to just pay for one.
It's not possible.
Okay.
Everything is, as I said, it's a combo. So we cannot remove one and just pay for one. No. No. So if you are enrolling, you are taking because you enrolling for one. The question is, will I put you on the project after you finish? I want to be able to certify my student because of the certificate that you'll be getting at the end of the day, And for me to justify that, you need to work on my project. So if you are just doing one out of the 3 or 4 that we are offering, how are you going to cope on the project I'm going to put you on? What will be the basis of me, scoring you before I can give you that certificate at the end of the day? So that is why it is essential. I know some of us, as the earlier speaker said, has got a basic knowledge when it comes to manual testing, but this is more than manual testing. And even probably the manual testing you did, you might have used another application to do your manual testing. This might be different. There's always a different ways of working, So, but it's going to be a full package for anyone coming in. It will be a full package because at the end of the day, you'll be working on a project, and I won't be able to satisfy you if you are just taking one. What is the basis of me giving you the certificate? When you're just taking one, and I can't really prove whether you know it or you don't know it. So that is it. Thanks. Any other question from you, Samsung?
So what you're basically saying now, as we're paying for the 4, we must learn the 4 to be able to do your project.
It's the value for money for you, because if I want to do one, you still pay the same price. So why not get the full value for your money? Go through all the experience and don't leave anyone behind. That's what I think anyway.
Can I just say something? When I did my training, there was no performance, and there was no performance testing involved, and there was no manual testing involved, and we paid the same amount. So you guys are getting more for the same price. Now, does it make sense to separate it and say, oh, let me only learn one, don't let me learn the remaining 2? That means you are limiting yourself. As for me, I would like to learn performance testing as well. I would like to know what manual testers do and be able to do their jobs. That way, you've got more things to put on your CV. You've got more technical capabilities to take into a workplace, to take into your interviews, to sell yourself. So what you're saying is, I don't want all these new skills. I want to drop 2 of those new skills. Let me only know one. Why would you want to limit yourself? The more skills you have, the better. Like I said earlier, if you go on job sites, they employ people dedicated for performance testing only. They employ people dedicated sometimes for automation only, and sometimes for manual only. But you see the difference in pay. So imagine you now being able to do all 3, which you think it's a big thing. It is not. It is simple. Once you are able to do all 3, your pay will be more than the people that can only do 1 or 2. And then it's easier for you that can do the 3 to find jobs. If I'm applying only for manual testing role, and you come now with a CV that shows that you can do manual testing, you can do automation, and you can do performance testing. As a performance tester, you earn more than everybody else. That's automatic. As an automation tester, you earn more than the manual tester. So you're winning if you do all three. That's all I'm trying to say to you.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. There's a question on the chat from Ambrose. Apart from Cypress, are you teaching us C#? No, for this cohort, we'll only be teaching on Cypress. And this is one thing about all these tools that you need to understand. It's like an automation, auto car. You are driving auto, you know. It doesn't matter whether your own personal car is Mercedes. If you go to your friend's place and your friend is using G-Wagon, or sorry, is using Jaguar, and is auto as well, you can drive that same car as well. When it comes to programming language, that is the, that is the same thing. Your knowledge on Cypress, if they give you C#, you should be able to cope as well, because it's only few bits and pieces. It's just the basic. Once you understand the basics of any programming language, you can survive on any other one, you know. So for this particular cohort, will be, because it's 4 months already, we'll only be looking at Cypress. You know, I could have said probably if we have more time, probably personally, I could have taken you through C#, but Cypress is more than enough. I can guarantee you that, you know. And probably on the projects, now depending on you, you might want to use probably C# to create your framework for the project. But for this cohort, we are only using Cypress. That is to Ambrose. I hope that has answered your question. Chris, you raise your hand. You can unmute and ask quickly before we round up. Chris, you raise your hand.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you so much for the meeting or the webinar. My question is the automation testing, performance testing, and manual testing that, according to you, are going to cover in this course. Can we see the possible curriculum to cover in each of them? Is it possible before one makes payment?
Yes, just message me, get this number down and message me later. It's something I could send to you later on.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
You're welcome, no problem at all. Because of our time, I don't know whether anyone has got any final question before we call it a day today, and hopefully see you guys on the journey. Any final question from anyone? Benga, you raise your hand again. You can unmute and ask.
Okay. Okay, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the presentation. But the area I really want to talk about is about the money. You know, we are not saying we are poor in Nigeria, but considering circumstances of so many things that is happening at the same time in Nigeria. So I don't know if you can help us look into the app payment, I mean the 50% discount, if it can apply to people who want to pay instrumentally as well, like 2 times or 3 times. You can pay like first tranche, and then in as much as we can pay between now and on the 19th of the commencement of the course.
Do you have this number? Do you have this number down?
Yeah, the number you shared, you said your WhatsApp number.
Yeah, the WhatsApp number on your screen right now. Yeah, message me later and let's see what we can do.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate
it. Send me a WhatsApp message later and let's see what we can do. No problem. Thanks. Any final question from anyone? Hopefully, I'm just seeing the chat now. I think I've got some of my current students that just finished. I think they finished last week. I think I've got one of them or two of them online. I just saw the chat now. Anthony, are you still online?
Yes, I'm online.
Yeah, I just saw your chat. Do you want to say one or two things about the training quickly before we round up?
Hello, guys. My name is Anthony. I was the last set that just finished the automation class, which Aki was the person that taught us C#. Before now, I have gone through a lot of platforms. I will say to you, Aki is one of the best tutor I've ever met, and he's the best. I will say that I have paid more than what he asked us to pay, but in the last 3 months, I was able to equip myself. I can be so proud that I am a C#. I can automate with C# now. I'm still learning. You know, this platform is key. You must keep learning, not just after the program, you just stop. No, you have to start, keep learning. Now, they are giving you guys three offer: manual, automation, and performance. Even me, I'm currently working as a manual tester, but why I came for Aki class was I needed an automation role, because automation role is the best if you want to enjoy testing. So I'm seeing some people asking what kind of programming language they're going to use. If you don't have any knowledge in programming language, Aki will make it so simple for you. I'm telling you for fact. I have like everything. He gave us like 2 classes for the manual, but you guys will be having everything 3 in 1. So I will urge you guys to grab it and utilize it, and you will not regret it. Thank you all.
Thanks, Anthony. Really appreciate it. They finished their class last weekend, although they are still working on the project though. But yeah, that is it. It's only when you come on the journey that you can really know the benefit that is attached. You know, no, when we sit on the window, sometimes you won't really know until you are a partaker and you can give your own, testimony as well. But thanks everyone for attending this session today. Again, just to reiterate, the starting date will be on the 19th of July on a Wednesday. It's going to run twice a week, which is Wednesdays and Thursdays. Funny enough, those that finished, Anthony said, it's only once a week, So what the bargain that this new cohort is getting is way, 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 way more than what we've ever done in the past. The training will be twice a week, Tuesdays and Wednesdays for 4 months duration. And also, you also be involved on a live project, working with a full Scrum team. What more can you ask for? By the time you finish, you don't have to lie on your CV. You don't have to lie on tools. You don't have to lie on your experience as well. But that being said, hopefully I'm going to see most of you on the journey. And if you have any question, as I said, please note the number on your screen down and you can message me afterwards. Thank you everyone for your time today. And hopefully I'll get to meet you personally while on the journey together. So thanks, have a lovely weekend. And the video will be available on the WhatsApp group and also on our YouTube channel at Learn with Pride. So from me to you, I say a big thank you. Bye-bye and have a good weekend. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.